Known as one-third of the megagroup the Migos, Takeoff was the premier writer of the Migos, though not as star-studded as his two musical brothers Quavo and Offset as far as visuals. Takeoff was the more important part of the group, he was their transmission. Takeoff put Migos into gear with his Ice Cube-like writing ability and knack for catchy hooks and verses filled with tons of energy song after song, propelling the group to the top of the charts, only cooling down momentarily when the group would split based on financial misunderstandings. On Halloween night 2022, Quavo and Takeoff would attend an event in Houston, Texas with Prince Jr. alongside the Mob Ties crew at a Houston bowling alley. Afterwards they attended an after-party or gathering near the bowling alley where there was gambling and other festivities going on. His uncle and fellow group member Quavo would not long after get into an argument over his boxing skills with a member of the Mob Ties crew, and things escalated. Guns were drawn and fired, leaving Takeoff, who was just off to the side minding his business, shot in the head. He was only 28. Pop Smoke brought the Brooklyn drill subgenre of hip-hop to the masses. According to The Ringer, the style melds spooky British production techniques with trap beats and often dark lyrics. In 2019, he released his first major project, Meet the Woo, with the follow-up Meet the Woo 2 debuting in February 2020 and hitting number 7 on the Billboard album chart. His star was on the rise, and he'd go on to work with heavy hitters like Travis Scott and Nicki Minaj, and also score numerous top 20 singles in 2010 and 2021, including For the Night, What You Know About Love, The Woo and Mood Swings. Sadly, Pop Smoke, born Bashar Jackson, wouldn't live to see much of his phenomenal success. According to the New York Times, the rapper had relocated from New York to a home in Hollywood he rented from Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star Teddi Mellencamp. It was there in the early hours of February 19, 2020, that a group of men allegedly broke in and shot the rapper. A few hours later, he died at a local hospital. Pop Smoke was 20 years old. Per the BBC, 3 men and 2 teenagers were later arrested and faced robbery and murder charges. Yase Onfroy, better known as XXXTentacion, broke out on the digital hip-hop underground of SoundCloud, releasing a slew of songs and albums on the service in 2014 when he was barely 16 years old. Within 3 years, he was scoring mainstream hits on the Billboard pop chart, like Look at Me and Jocelyn Flores, with non-SoundCloud albums 17 and hitting number 2 and number 1, respectively. His music was urgent and rife with tales of extreme violence and battles with mental illness. Off the mic, Tentacion's life was arguably even more troubled and violent. In 2016, he assaulted his romantic partner, threatening to cut off her tongue allegedly because she was singing somebody else's songs. A few months later, he held a knife to that same partner's throat when he suspected infidelity. After she revealed that she was pregnant, XXX beat her, promised to kill her, and locked her in an apartment, which she escaped after 2 days. The case was never resolved, as XXXTentacion was gunned down in Florida in June 2018. The rapper was 20. Born in Chicago but raised in South Memphis, according to AllMusic, Young Dolph became a leader and superstar of the emergent Memphis scene by combining hard-edged, visceral, and highly descriptive lyrics with the irresistible, club-ready beats of Southern rap. His mixtapes made him a big deal locally in the 2000s, but by the mid-2010s, Young Dolph was a national sensation, releasing hit albums like King of Memphis, Role Model, and Dumb and Dumber, and smash hit singles 100 Shots and Major. On November 17, 2021, according to Fox 13, Young Dolph, born Adolph Robert Thornton, Jr., walked into Makeda's Butter Cookies in his hometown of Memphis, a business he visited regularly and would often promote, but shortly after he arrived, a car drove up to the bakery and 2 men emerged, brandishing firearms and shooting into the store. Young Dolph was killed in the gunfire. The rapper was 36. There weren't many rappers who made a bigger impact on hip-hop in the late 2010s than Jared Anthony Higgins, more commonly known as Juice WRLD. In 2018, he released his first album, Goodbye and Good Riddance, and it reached number 4 on the Billboard album chart while also generating the huge hit singles Lucid Dreams and All the Girls Are the Same. His second studio release, Death Race for Love, performed even better, cresting the Billboard 200. Juice WRLD was a prolific musician, releasing an additional 9 extended plays and 2 mixtapes, all before he turned 21 years old. Then, less than a week after he hit that milestone birthday, it was all over for Juice WRLD. According to TMZ, the rapper exited a private plane at Chicago's Midway Airport in December 2019. While walking through the terminal, he suffered a seizure, with blood reportedly coming out of his mouth by the time paramedics could treat him. A few hours later, he was pronounced dead at a hospital. The rapper, whose music was laced with references to his use and abuse of substances, died from an overdose of codeine and oxycodone, according to the Cook County Medical Examiner. If you enjoy the content on this channel, subscribe for more content daily. Thanks.